Hey guys, may the 4th be with you and all that. So yeah, we've got the PDF here, which I want to explain, which is all about how to use Alliance and Emperor in greater detail, and just so you can really harness the power of those two awesome new Star Wars tracks we've got. And you've probably arrived here because you've just watched the How to Score a Short Film, which was the Star Wars film by Max Jordan, which we've then rescored with Filmstro. If you haven't seen that, there's a link to that in the description, so I would encourage you to check that out. It's pretty cool. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into this. Okay, so here's the PDF, and what I want to just quickly explain is what this basically means. So hopefully it's self-explanatory. So we've got two tracks. So one's Alliance and the other one's Emperor. And what we've done is basically I've put a lock icon for when you want to access one particular setting. You can see that the momentum is locked on the left-hand side. And so what that means is if you want to get the music that sounds like Ray, then basically leave the momentum on the left, right? So you don't want to move that over at all, but you can, and hence the unlocked kind of icons here, you can move the depth and you can move the power. So in other words, you have momentum on the left and free reign with depth and power, giving you something like, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4... Is that 4 inflections? Yeah, probably. And then if you want to go to the X-Wing setting, you basically do the opposite. So then you bring the momentum over to the right, but you leave it there, hence the lock icon. And then again, depth and power can be moved however you wish. With Emperor, it's exactly the same. So basically you have the kind of Kylo Ren settings, which are with the momentum on the left, and then you have the TIE Fighter settings, which is the momentum on the right. So essentially, you know, long story short, put the momentum on one side, move depth and power, and that's one setting. Put the momentum on the other side, move depth and power, and that's the other setting. So I'm just going to demonstrate that real quick. So I've got Alliance already set up. I'm going to just select the audition toggle in the advanced settings here, which means I can just play with the music without it affecting the timeline. So let's have a listen. So here then we are with momentum on the left. And if I now move the depth, you can see that basically keeps the same music and just kind of thickens it out, adds a bit more intensity to that lovely, really, really typical Star Wars line. And similarly, that is still very much in keeping with Rey, although it's going more into the... This is kind of her, you know, figuring out, oh God, maybe there's something wrong with me, you know. Of course, we find out that she's actually a Palpatine. Hope my son doesn't watch this, otherwise that's a massive spoiler. All right, cool. And then on the other side, momentum up, and now let's press play again. I'll just go from the beginning, actually sounds really cool. So this is more the kind of, yeah, this is your X-Wing kind of thing, right? So this is like, let's go, you know, red team leader, here I am, blah, blah, blah. So again, doesn't change the music, right? So just thickens it out. Same with power. There's percussion parts and stuff, and then we thicken it all out, bring in all the action instruments and percussion and stuff. Awesome. So yeah, that's how that works, and we'll just do the same, exactly the same with the Emperor track. So if I just load that through, load up the blank template. Just a quick note actually on performance as well. We have noticed that on different machines it really does perform in a different way. So some of our developers have a very different experience to what I have with Filmstro. I'm using here to do these videos. I tend to work on an older MacBook Pro laptop, and I definitely noticed that the performance is not as good as on a more powerful machine, right? So and I was also very, very encouraged the other day to learn that the maximum file size for a video is essentially just what your machine can manage. So that's why we've removed it. We had a little thing here saying, I think 100 meg or 500 meg or something was our kind of recommended top file size. And that's because when I was testing with this old machine, and it's, you know, shamefully, I must admit, it's old. I was finding that, yeah, 500 meg or something bigger than that, and my video would start having issues. But I'm super pleased to say that I've got a more powerful setup elsewhere in the studio, and yeah, I'm playing back like 2 gigs worth of video. It's not an issue at all. Anyway, so here we are in Emperor. Again, I've just switched Audition on so I can just play it for you. And we're going to keep the momentum on the left, and that should be the kind of Kylo Ren kind of dark, moody, brooding stuff. So that's this kind of thing here. So we can add more to this by bleeding in more depth. I think this is great. This is this kind of introspective, kind of doubting himself stuff, which is excellent. And I think they really did so well in these sequels in really exploring that inner turmoil, which we never got really. Well, we did get to see that with Anakin as well, and obviously the John Williams score was awesome, but it's very, very different. It was more chaotic, kind of schizophrenic sounding music. If you go back to something like Attack of the Clones and listen to what it sounds like when he is in the workshop on Tatooine and stuff, and kind of, or when is it? It's just before he goes out and kills all those sand people. He's super cool music. Anyway, so let's play this again. So let's bring in some power then. So yeah, same piece of music, doesn't change it. It's still Kylo Ren, but we've got some more kind of percussion now. So yeah, that's that. And then if we go over to the momentum fast side, you get a different feel. So this is more your kind of TIE Fighter stuff. Love this bit. To be fair, I don't think this necessarily just has to be for baddies. I think this works just as a kind of as a generic Star Wars-esque underscore for anything that's kind of chase, fight, preparation, upping the ante, etc. Anyway, let's bring in the power. Love it. I think it's probably one of my favourite bits. This is so cool. Fun. And so the segueing between one and the other, you've got to be a little bit careful and try and do it to coincide with these. So it does work. They are quite different pieces, and what we've done and experimented actually here with using these Star Wars tracks as a springboard for us to try something new is sometimes even the key signature and even the BPM might be a little bit different depending on the different sort of themes that you're accessing within one Filmstro track. So when you are segueing dynamically but from one to the other, and particularly in this case changing the momentum between the different settings, as we've got here, you just want to make sure that obviously that works in a clever way. My recommendation though, of course, would be to just use Filmstro as a palette to basically create all the little building blocks that you need, and then just arrange those in your NLE, because that's where Filmstro excels. Use it scene by scene to score specific things you need, really get close to your edit, but then render it out. Render a couple of versions, render 3 versions, and then combine the best bits. And yeah, use it like you'd use a composer, to ask, hey, do me this scene again. Oh, can I have that cue, but this time without the horns or whatever it might be. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. I hope this is useful, and yeah, I look forward to seeing what you guys make with these Star Wars tracks. Cool. Until next time, happy editing.